around, friends, new and old, and welcome to the POWWOW podcast. I am your host, David.
Hola, amigos. I am your friend, Philip Amarin.
And Philip is here currently. Oh, man. Trying to be Spanish. Yes, I am coming to you from a brand new country. I'm in Spain, and we're mixing things around a little bit with my time away, having guest hosts and doing little weird episodes. But it's fun. I'm currently recording from a hostel, and we might talk about that a little bit later. And how you doing, Phil? I haven't talked to you in a little bit.
I'm doing all right. It's been a little lonely without you, I'm not going to lie, but I feel like me and Nick did a good enough job last week. Did you listen at least?
Not yet, but I promise I will.
All right, fantastic. That's all right. Well, but it has been weird without you. I'm not going to lie. Outside of that, though, it's been all right. It's been a good couple of weeks. I'm glad that you're over there. Once again, I need to emphasize to everybody listening, tanning them cheeks, David. I'm so glad you're enjoying your vacation fully a la nude. Not a la mode, a la nude.
I have to say, I'm enjoying the lovely, warm Mediterranean weather. This is what I was like. This is in my blood, quite literally, the Italian blood of mine. So I'm really, really enjoying being here. Speaking of tanning cheeks and being on the beach, we were on the beach yesterday. The course that I'm doing involves certain skills that should be practiced in wide open spaces. And so a couple of us were on the beach yesterday practicing those skills. And you might see that on my Instagram, not so much the POWWOW Instagram, if you follow me. And we were drawing a lot of attention. People were like, "Whoa, what's that? What are they doing?" So that was fun. That was fun. You might hear it in my voice. I've clearly been out last night. I'm recovering this morning. And
yes. Studying late into the hours, right?
Late, yes.
Studying so late.
Studying. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure you can hear that in my voice. I'm just exhausted from all that education.
Why don't you take a little break? I'll take over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You just take a seat, rest your little weary voice, and I'll take over and I'll take a little interview with a friend of mine who I think we'll all have a good time getting to know. How about that?
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Well, thank you, David, and thank you, me, I guess, because we will be coming back here for an interview with one of my high school friends, I guess is the best way to introduce you, Kylie.
Yes.
It's been a while. Last time I saw you, I believe we went out to that Peacock Park and we were playing volleyball. Do you remember that? I want to say it was like a year after we graduated in 2013.
Yes.
And that was like the last time we as a group could get together, get our heads out of our asses.
Yeah.
And actually have something of a reunion, which was only 1 year out.
I'm pretty sure I got sand in my eye.
Yeah. I think I remember that. I think I remember the fallout from that.
Oh my God. Do you remember when me and you collided sophomore year in high school?
Yes.
We were doing something very similar to this.
Yes.
We were playing baseball crossed with basketball, I believe.
Oh my God, yes. Was this in the gym?
No, this was outside. And like, I think you had turned around and I was running towards you and I didn't even realize you were in front of me. And then we ended up getting interviewed because it was such a crazy impact.
Yeah, somebody's got video on that somewhere.
I think I like ended up looking it up like probably at least 6 years ago, but I have gone like a weirdo on North Point's like to see if I can find stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff there. So
that was the one good thing about them recording everything of our high school experience is that now you can go back and find all of those cringy moments that we existed in.
Yes. Everyone is very amazed by some of the stories that I have to tell. And so I'm like, thank God there's so much video and photo evidence because otherwise people wouldn't believe us.
They wouldn't believe you. And then also like the senior prank thing. There's tons of videos that we have that we
was
got
so
into
good.
trouble.
I think I have an album like on my Facebook dedicated to the senior prank.
The senior prank. For those
I planned that.
Yeah, you did. You were the evil mastermind. So for our senior prank, we went through and for all the rest of the classes, we did various I would say heinous activities.
We didn't destroy anything, but we definitely destroyed. up?
I guess the worst would be some teachers could not get into their rooms, or
desks
if they
piled to the ceiling.
Or if they could, the desks were piled to the ceiling.
Red everywhere.
Red everywhere, as that was our senior class color.
We went on the roof and put the banner up.
That's right. There was a banner, and there was one Jim Halpert moment where we did have one teacher's desk entirely clearly plastic wrapped. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
And placed outside in perfect condition. Just outside. And so they had to, I believe, if I remember correctly, she at least had to do her entire first period outside, her entire first class outside, because she couldn't teach inside and get it inside in enough time. So we've had some activities. Good moments.
Yes.
Good moments for sure. But now we're in a different space, different part of our life. That's why we're even having this interview. I'm obviously
10 years later.
We are now inside. Where are we right now? As people will be able to hear this, but they aren't able to see this glorious place I'm inside right now.
We are in my brand new salon suite that is located inside Sola in Tempe.
Mm-hmm.
I just moved in here at the beginning of August.
And it looks fabulous. I'm not going to lie. I love that we've got a plant over there. We've got a plant decor over here. But of course, the stars of the show are the hair treatment and this very comfortable chair that I might take a nap in later.
Yes, and that does scoot down, so it's perfect for.
If it vibrates, I'm done. I'm paying rent.
They do have those. They have ones that you just completely lay down, and then it has like a back massager on it. But they're like $6,000 to $8,000.
Yeah, that's I'd say that's probably worth its money. And maybe not at that.
As a hairdresser, for me, I'm like, no. You guys,
they're not going to be here that long, and then plus that encourages them to stay a little bit longer. No.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I do have some questions, even though David is not here with us today. I do have some questions from him as well as myself. So let's get started here. My first question: what first attracted you to cosmetology, and what is daily enjoyment that comes as a result purely from your career?
That's a funny question, because what my initial goal that made me go into it was just like, I don't have to stand or sit at a desk all day. Like, I get to be moving around. I get to engage with people face to face. I don't have to be on the phones. That's not my thing. So just like being able to have like creative freedom as an artist and make a decent living, that was one way that I knew that I could do that. And if I decided to go to college later on, I could support myself to do that. But what ended up being the best part about being a hairdresser is the connections that I make with people. And you get people at a very vulnerable time because they need a change. They're looking at themselves in the mirror and they're like, okay, something's not right. And then you have the opportunity to shape not only the outside to represent how they feel on the inside, but you also can, break down some barriers with them and help them gain confidence within themselves. So what I envisioned to be most fulfilling on a daily basis isn't what it ended up to be, but I'm very, very grateful that it ended up going that way.
As a quick aside, is it the worst thing if somebody comes in and says, I don't know what I want, and or do whatever you want with my hair? Is that like the worst?
My fiance will literally be like, because when you do things on social media, it doesn't look like you're working. It looks like you're like scrolling through Instagram or whatever. And he's like, you said that you're working. And I'm like, Dave, I am working. I have 3 clients that come in tomorrow. And every single time they sit down, they're like, whatever you think I need is fine.
No.
So it's like, no, I don't mind it, because the trust that took for me to get there, like, that is amazing. To just be like, whatever you do, I know I'm going to like, and I have no preference. Like, whoa. But at the same time too, when I have 3 of those people coming in, it's like, when you get like creative, like you get like a mind block almost, and it's like, I don't even know where to begin. So I do my homework before some clients come in, but I don't mind it. I like it.
All right, David's first question here. Have you decided on a name yet for your business, and how did you come to it?
Yes, my business name is Katie and Artistry. I just didn't want something that sounded like I just do hair. I'm not a hairdresser. Like, I'm not a service provider. I do art, and it happens to be on your head. You pay me for it. I needed something that described, that I'm not your average hairdresser. This is more, I'm in it for the art versus, and then Katie Ann, obviously, those are my initials. So it just was me.
Was there any part of you that considered a new city to start your own business?
Oh, like initially or like ever?
This one's David's question, so I'd imagine though ever really does apply here. I know we talked prior to us setting up for this interview, and you had even said the idea intrigued you of cutting hair and being on the go on a cruise ship, because they do have those provisions on cruise ships. Maybe, I mean, so that idea obviously struck you. Maybe were you like Portland? Portland is the place of hair or something.
I think that I had the thing that set me off from everyone else is I was very close with people from high school. And so I had been cutting their hair since sophomore year. By the time I was graduated, like I had clients. That wasn't a sparkle in my eye really, because I was like, I have my client base here. I'm making great money. Why would I go anywhere else? But side note, I would go to Hawaii because it's too cold here during the winter.
So you'd be a seasonal bird who just goes there when it fits you in the winter.
Exactly.
In the winter, wear a beanie, and then when Kylie comes back in the summer, she'll trim it all back.
Yes.
As far as location within Phoenix, how important was it to you to find a place close to your established client base?
Ooh, that was the most important thing. Me moving into this was me finally being selfish and saying, I know that I was centrally located for so long, but
because you recently moved. Yeah.
Yes. And I mean, I've always been in Phoenix for the most part. So yeah, I've tried to remain close to them, but I finally had to understand that me driving 45 minutes each way a day, it's cutting out an hour and a half out of my family time. And so now I'm 12 minutes away, and I don't know why I didn't do this sooner, but
yeah. And then it sounds like your client base has traveled with you. I mean,
I haven't lost one.
Yeah. For them, it's one day of whenever their normal hair cycle is. For you, that's work. That's daily. That's an hour and a half out of your life just driving.
Yeah.
I understand. I'd imagine you have had prior relationships with a fair amount of your current clientele. Have you ever had a client you had not communicated with prior to an appointment? And if so, what is the most difficult obstacle working on someone new?
It is a huge obstacle because I don't just do a one size fits all thing when it comes to the work that I do. And it took a long time for me to put my foot down and say, I'm not doing your hair unless I've seen you before. So I actually require in-person consultations now because it's a good amount of money that you're spending. And I don't want to have the pressure of meeting someone for the first time. Maybe we're not a good fit, and I have tons of other people to recommend out to. I'm luckily in that point where I don't get a lot of new people. And when I do, I can really be picky and choosy with who I have in my chair now, just to protect the environment and the space and the vibe of everything.
Yeah. Even like probably your brand of like everybody who you have would recommend you to 10 other people, but you don't want that one person who just happened to come in on a bad day for them. Like you said, didn't vibe and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
How much time off do you allow yourself since you're your own boss? How do you like to spend it?
On vacations.
On vacations. Yeah.
Or out on the lake, outside, not in four walls.
So you only like to be restricted when it comes to business. When you're getting down to business, you've got four walls, but outside of that, great outdoors.
Yeah. Like I'll take even just like, I mean, you like to sit and have Netflix time and whatnot, but while my body is able and all that stuff, I'm just trying to like not take that for granted, and I'm trying to use it or lose it.
So my dad is a post office worker, and I had never known prior to my mom marrying him that mailmen are very grateful for holiday tips, or even something as simple as a baked goods around the holidays. And in the hairstylist business, I personally experienced both ways, where there are those who expect and price their services for tips, while others say that their prices of booking is flat, no tip wanted or expected. Where do you fall in that discussion? And for those like me who are aimlessly tipping, hoping that it's an appropriate amount, how much would you say is a fair amount to tip?
Can I ask... Can we go back to your dad being a postal worker and getting tips? What? I didn't know that either.
Yeah, no, most people do not know that it's a seasonal thing where it's not expected. Of course, nobody would ever say that. But if you think about it, it's one relationship that you have for an entire year that is such a thankless job that most people don't think about it, but it is.
Literally didn't even think about it. And the UPS driver that went and recovered one of my packages a few weeks ago, he had been on that same route for 10 years and like knew the neighbors, knew when we moved in. I feel like I need to like leave and go find them and tip them $100 right now.
Yeah, it's they protect your mail. They make sure that it gets to you and make sure that nobody comes in and steals the
Him
thing.
finding that package was like, I was so grateful. This is the difficult thing. I'm a business owner.
Yeah.
So I get to dictate what I charge. I don't want to resent anyone at the end of the day. And so I don't expect tips. A lot of hairdressers would disagree with me. A lot of business owners that are hairdressers would disagree with me. But I price accordingly and I feel fulfilled at the end of the day. But you can always bring me coffee.
Oh, so that is the form of tip. Is
But never, ever don't think that I don't want a coffee. Or chicken nuggets, and then you can feed me chicken nuggets while I'm doing your hair.
Oh, God.
That's the best form of tip in my opinion.
I just had some good vegan nuggets, which sounds like such an impossibility.
From where?
From the oven.
Oh, you bought them from the store?
Yeah. Apparently Sprouts has... Sprouts, if you ever want to try anything healthy, my suggestion is, yes, you will pay for it, but Sprouts at least has the best version. So
You're going to pay for it later on if you don't.
Absolutely. Yeah, in one way or another. All right, so you have a wonderful little family that I always see on social media with 2 little ones. Were there any unexpected challenges being pregnant that affected your business?
Oh, I always told everyone was so shook when I was like, hey, everyone, I'm having Ellie. And they're like, what? You're going to have kids? And I've always told people that will never be planned. If it happens, it happens. I was already renting a booth. And so then I decided she was my push to do everything, honestly.
Really?
It's very strange. When I got the keys to here, I took a photo and I had bright green nails, okay, that were glittered.
Okay.
Then I go through and I'm just trying to, reminisce about where I started. And I was 7 months pregnant with Ellie at the time when I signed the lease on my first suite, from, working in a salon and renting a booth to actually having my own space. In the photo of me holding the keys to my first suite, I have bright green nails. And I just felt like, dang, if that doesn't tell me that I'm in the right place at the right time, because I knew that was the best decision that I ever made, was going out on my own. And so it's hard having them, but they have kept me so straight compared to the wild child that I've always been, I mean, it's hard, but for me, I needed them. They saved me.
So they balanced you. They did. They caused you the motivation to continue to be better, to strive better for yourself in your career.
I'll still whoop someone's ass though, but
definitely, yeah.
But yes, I definitely feel like I'm a better person because of them. So all of the hurdles and like the craziness of the lifestyle of having a business and having them, they're always worth it. Yeah, I don't think I would have gone as far as I did in my career if it wasn't for them.
You ask any barista, and they all have a drink that they hate to make. They'll be the first to tell you the double macchiato with Tabasco shots, hold the cinnamon with Little Whip, and hand churned with grinds and gears. What is that equivalent to you? Is it a dye job, a prom hair, maybe a beard trim? What could possibly be the bane of your existence, professionally speaking?
So, okay, well, I don't do men's cuts or anything like that.
Really?
So,
Is that like a whole other animal?
Little hairs that you get from like clippering. Yeah. No, I don't do that. Wow. I don't know. Clipper cuts are a completely different ballgame than when you have scissors in your hands and you can like hold it and then throw it where you want instead of it just ending up all over your entire body. So, I mean, I do not like doing men's cuts whatsoever, which is why I just don't do them. But I guess if it's like something that I would be doing, then I'm like, why?
No, wait, hold on. Before we even continue, you do have a fiance.
Yes.
Is that the one exception?
I'm the most useless hairdresser to a man.
Really?
As far as, being engaged to.
He has to go somewhere else. Yeah. He has to find his own.
Yeah.
He has to get his own in-person consultation.
I was in I think it was an extension class that I was in, and they were all talking about like, oh my God, I hate cutting my husband's hair. And I was like, you guys are really nice because I don't even own clippers.
If you were a masseuse, you would be like, I'm not ever touching your back. I don't care what's hurting for you. It's just like you're just saying, no, absolutely not. This is insane.
I'm like, do you want a haircut? Do you want to look funny? Do you don't want me to do this to you? It's like I haven't done it in.
Now, if he had a man bun or something, then maybe we'd start talking.
I can trim your ends.
Okay,
that's easy.
All
it's scissors. I mean, I know you can do short haircuts with shears and whatnot.
Ooh.
But I don't know. I think that I just like working on women primarily too. You know what I mean? And spending 3 hours with someone, you can really get to know them, versus like men are just like, I think I get a 2 over here, and then like she does something up here, but I don't know what it is, and then I'm done.
Kylie,
and I'm
you're speaking about me right now.
like, I don't know what you want. What do you want from me?
But when working with women, what's the worst? What's the worst thing that they come in and say, all right, today we're going to be working on my prom hair or something? I couldn't imagine what it possibly is.
I guess like when they are like green and they're wanting to go like pink, or vice versa, like opposite of the color wheel. It's like, dude, come on. Let's just find a corresponding color and make it easy. My work is cut out for me once they want to do that. It's always doable. But then I just like really got to get my elbows into it and whatnot. But most of the time, you know, my clients tell me when we're going to be doing changes like that. They don't just like sit in here and they're like,
right, today we're going to be going.
I think that they know that I would be like, we're doing what? What do you mean we're switching from green to pink?
All right. Well, this is David's last question here. Oh, God, he always puts in a weird one. Do you have any comment on Sweeney Todd, who has been out there soiling the reputation of beauticians for years? Are you familiar with who Sweeney Todd is?
Yes, my client literally on Friday just referenced me as a Sweeney Todd, and I just chuckled. It's.
Have you ever seen the film? Have you ever seen the musical and all? Have you ever even heard of it? I don't
like Tim Burton. It's Tim Burton. I don't like.
I think he went there.
My daughter loves A Nightmare Before Christmas, and we'll watch that during Halloween. But I'm not like a Tim Burton type of. I don't like creepy stuff.
Yeah, anything once we get to blood and everything else and dark fantasies, yes.
Documentaries are Disney movies for me. We gotta. I can't be having nightmares before I go to bed. Like seriously, my fiance, I fell asleep on the couch the other night, and he ended up watching like his Resident Evil show that's on right now. And I think just like me sleeping and hearing it, like I ended up having a nightmare that night. Jeez. So it just solidified that I can not. Yeah, you have an influential mind prone right before going to bed, and we can't affect that. Yeah, I think I've seen like little snips of Sweeney Todd. Like I also have mad ADHD, so I really just can't sit there. It's like that's like the bane of my existence. Like, hey, do you want to go see a movie? No, I don't want to sit somewhere for 2 hours. It seems sad too, and I just bit. Like I'm not the type of person that likes to read or watch things to like have a good cry. Yeah, knowing that you're going to be sad. I don't like to have a good cry. I don't like to cry. I allow myself four times a year. So yeah, I don't watch things that make me sad, I suppose. All right, I'm looking at a neon sign with your initials and your business thing. So let's do it one more time. What's a plug for everything? Where can people find you online, in person? Where can people find you? Instagram, kdn.artistry. KDN, the letters. KDN, the initials, yes. And then I'm not really a Facebooker right now, but I do have my page on there as well. Same tag. And then I don't think I'm on anything else. Oh, my Gloss Genius is how you would book me, but you'll find that through my Instagram and my Facebook. And if you ever just want to find where she works and you need directions, just ask for the biggest salad and go in all of Phoenix, yes. And she's right next to it. Most definitely. Yeah. Yes. All right. Well, thank you, Kylie. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. This episode of POWWOW Podcast is sponsored by Sides. Meet Sides. SIDES, an app that helps you take the law into your own hands. Turn ordinary agreements into binding contracts in seconds. Then if a dispute arises, Sides will step in to resolve it for you. What, Phil, that was supposed to be my line. Well, what did we agree to in the contract? I don't know. I guess we can use Sides to settle this dispute, because each dispute costs a small one-time fee. And if you win, which I will, it's all awarded back to you. Sign up now and get 16% off for a limited time only. Popping back into the swing of things after that wonderful little interview, let's go to a fun mini segment we always have to get to know each other just a little bit better, as we can always learn a little bit more about one another. Get to know each other or test each other really on how well we should know each other already, because we've known each other for some couple years now. Right, absolutely. So it depends. It can always be something that we know the other one knows, or something that the other one really should know or be able to infer. This week, I went, you should know.
This is Pop Quiz, right? Did we say that? Pop Quiz is our mini segment this week.
Yes, Pop
If
Quiz.
you hadn't figured that out already.
So that means that we will be putting each other's skills to the test. And David, I'm going to be doing just that with a 4-answer question here. Let's go. Which of the following albums, David, was the first album I purchased with my own money and I still have a CD of to this very day? Was it in alphabetical order of the album's name? Was it Usher's Confessions? Was it Maroon 5's Songs About Jane? Was it Santana's Supernatural? Or John Cena's You Can't See Me? Which album did I buy with my own money and was the first one that I've ever bought? Purchased with my own money.
Purchased, yes. I know you've told me this before. I'm almost certain you've told me this before.
I'm almost certain I have too.
On the podcast even. And I am going to go with D, John Cena's You Can't See Me.
I don't believe I said option D, but you know what? You are right. You picked the D, the correct D. It is indeed John Cena's You Can't See Me. Now, the twist here and trick was I do indeed have all these CDs. I was an owner of all these CDs at one time and played all of them. However, John Cena is the proud owner of my $20, or I should say $19.99. As he got that from the first allowance that I ever got. $20 was saved and spent willingly to go pay for that man's privilege of hearing him rap. And I would like to say that I can spot talent, David. That's what I'd like to say.
Oh, of course. Okay, Philip. In what do I have my bachelor's degree? Acting, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, or chemical engineering?
Oh, you son of a bitch. I knew it wasn't acting, and you just threw that as a mercy out. But God damn you for the rest. I knew it would be engineering of some sort. Okay, give me
a degree in acting.
You do. I'm not. Yes, of course you do. But it wasn't the first one. Give me the last 3 options, as I'm very clearly not going to use
civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and chemical engineering.
I'm going to go with option C, mechanical engineering. I'm pretty sure I would have remembered chemical engineering had it been that one, because I would have associated you more with Walter White and Jesse Pinkman.
Mr. White. Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that, but a friend of ours, Tim, definitely can.
He definitely can.
Yes, you're correct. C, mechanical engineering was the correct answer. My acting degree is not a bachelor's degree, so that's why that wouldn't have been correct. It had nothing to do with first or second whatever degree. It was just a bachelor's degree, which is mechanical engineering. So well done. We both know each other well enough to get the questions right this week. Good.
Yes, first time we've ever both gotten pop quiz correct. Yay us.
Oh.
I was going to say we should have had Jake add some sort of flair,
some kind of like
little spice,
like flamenco flair,
or a little tambourine.
Sure, I need like just something, something a little bit more Mediterranean. But Jake's a busy man. I know that. He's back on America's Got Talent, I believe.
Yes,
now.
He is. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Go check him out.
Been doing that for a couple years now. All right, so my that slaps this week. I'm on the theme of cocktails here, and I'm gonna go with one of the most famous cocktails and one of the most famous songs about. Well, it's not really about cocktails specifically, but it kind of is sort of. It's called Escape, and it is by Rupert Holmes. It's the Pina Colada song. If you like pina coladas. Yeah, that song. It slaps. Doesn't it not slap? It slaps.
You know how much that song slaps? Any song can be determined by how well it slaps based on whether or not it could be sung by literally anybody in karaoke, and people will sing along to it. No matter how good the singer is, no matter what it is, they will sing along to it. And that song, for certain, everybody hops on for If You Like Pina Coladas. So it's a great song. Definitely slaps, my friend. Definitely slaps. I went the other way. I themed my song around our interview today. And therefore, I thought, I have one of two ways to interpret a song about hair. I can either go with the Broadway musical, but in which case I don't have too many favorite songs from that particular show. So even though it's a good musical, enjoy it yourself if you like seeing nude, hairy people. I will go with another version. I will go to Lady Gaga with the song labeled Hair. It is the most how would I put this? It is the most fun and bouncy and free song I've ever found in my life. I listened to it while getting my hair cut within a salon, and it's stuck with me ever since. It just felt like one of those meta pieces of art that found me at the exact right time. Hair by Lady Gaga. That slaps.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. But before we say goodbye for another week, we have a few thank yous that we want to dish out. So first of all, to Cass and Crossland and Jake Corlang for the music that you have given to this show. We thank you and we love you.
Thank you to Tara Amstutz, Josh Hans, and Ryan Ardell for their wonderful contributions to the show. Guys, we could not have done it without each and every one of you. Thank you so very much. And from the bottom of our heart, thank you.
Y muchísimas gracias a ti, the listener. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at @powwow_podcast. Spread the word. Tell your friends. We got a lot to say. We got some fun things to talk about. And you can find us anywhere that you find your favorite podcasts, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, not Pandora, no, because screw you, Pandora.
It's John Cena from the top rope. He gets up. He puts both hands in the air. You cannot see him. He jumps. Oh, he misses on the mat. He is down. And who comes in for the pin? 1, 2, 3. The bear. The bear is the victor.